It's great to be here at the University of Florida. I really appreciate all that UF has done. You know, as many as you know, UF is rated one of the top 10 public universities in the country, and I think you're moving up even more is our goal. So we want to continue that, and as our state's flagship university, I think it's important not only to give students in Florida an opportunity, but it's integral for us to attract investment in Florida and to continue to have a good economy, because people know, that there's a good talent pool in Florida in a variety of different enterprises. We're happy to be here. Obviously we're with Dr. Frazier. We have a high regard for what UF is doing, and we came out of the gate as governor basically fulfilling campaign promises that the water quality in the Everglades were something that voters thought needed more attention. So I said we would be bold and take action, and we have done that. One of the things that we recommended was a $1 billion increase for the next 4 years for water quality and Everglades projects, and we're on track to achieve that. We asked for this year $625 million, and the legislature is going back and forth with the budget, but I think this is going to be something that has broad agreement, and so I'm really happy that we're going to be able to do that. And so if we can continue the momentum, we'll have done $2.5 billion over 4 years for these critical needs for our state. I'm happy to do that. And so we have had a lot of problems with the water, and we wanted to address it. Dr. Frazier is our Chief Science Officer. This is part of our environmental rollout, where we said, we want to be informed about, what works on this stuff. I mean, red tide, what's causing it? Blue-green algae, what can we do? Coastal resiliency, springs, coral reefs, all these different things. And so Dr. Frazier is going to work with both my office and the Department of Environmental Protection to provide us advice on sound science so that we can address these challenges. And Dr. Frazier has a very good reputation as being a leading environmental researcher in the state. He understands our state well and the actions that we must take. Florida's springs are really somewhat of a hidden treasure. Not a lot of tourists who come really understand how nice our springs are, and the Springs Restoration Program is something that I support. We're putting forth at least $50 million for springs restoration, and I think DEP has done a good job with this. We just got to keep the momentum going, and so we want an environment that Floridians can be proud of. The Florida Cabinet has approved key land acquisitions, including the Hardy Spring project in Hamilton County in February, and obviously that allows the state to be able to deal with these issues. But I've also been willing to take action when people weren't doing, I think, what the people of Florida expect. So the South Florida Water Management District, there's a lot of problems there. The public had lost confidence in the board. So when I came in, I said we needed a clean slate. We got the resignations of all the remaining members. We've appointed a new board. I think we've done 8. We have 1 more to go, which we'll do soon. And I think that sends a signal to the public, that we want these folks on the water management districts to be focusing on what's best for Florida and what's best for our natural resources, and not have other agendas that they're bringing to bear on this. And so I think that has really been a positive step for us. As many of you know, we've had problems with blue-green algae from the pollution in Lake Okeechobee being spewed into the rivers. Last summer was a really devastating outbreak of red tide. They're doing research here to determine why was it so severe. Was it because of the nutrients that were being spewed out of Lake Okeechobee mixing with the red tide in the Gulf? Some say yes. We want to know, but we want to know what we can do to fight this going forward. So we're setting up a blue-green algae task force. We're looking for qualified people to fill the group, but basically, they're going to recommend what additional steps we can take in Florida to be able to fight this problem. On the red tide side, my executive order called for the creation of the Center for Red Tide Research through the Fish and Wildlife Commission. This center will spearhead research to detect, track, and mitigate the effect of red tide. I'm going to be going. It was great. We talked to some of the students here. One of the students is doing a lot of research on coral reefs. I'm going down to the Keys after this. As many of you know, there's been problems with the coral reefs down there, and so I tend to deliver the message that help is on the way. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when that we figure that out, but I think it's going to be because of the work that people are doing here that we're able to get that done. I'm also doing a trip to Israel at the end of May, and I've urged NOAA and other people to participate in this trip. I want to develop relationships between Israeli universities and Florida universities on water. No one deals with water more than Israel does, and I think the innovation that they have speaks for itself. So I want to make sure that we're bringing the best collaboration to bear as we can. So I think at the end of the day, when the session is over, I think we'll be able to say that we delivered on really a historic commitment for water quality in Florida. I think that's what the voters of Florida want. Just yesterday I announced record tourism last year for the state of Florida. One of the main reasons why people want to come to Florida is because it's nice to be in Florida. You didn't have record tourism in Southwest Florida last summer because of the red tide and the algae blooms and some of the problems. And so I think it's really central to the state's economy. It's essential to the state's DNA, and I think it's something that we've got to get right. So I'm committed to doing it.